Hey, this is Allie Edwards, and this is a video overview of the creative team projects using the February 2018 digital stories by the month. So all the projects you're going to see here utilized products from the digital kit that we released back in February. This is available on an ongoing basis, so I will link it for you below. One of the reasons why I wanted to start doing this series of showcasing the creative team projects for you is to give you additional ideas and add some additional emphasis onto the ways that the team uses digital products in their paper projects. Most of them are making paper projects using those digital products. So that means they're printing them out, they're adding them to their photos before they print them out, those kinds of things as well. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the projects for this month. So first up, we have Amy. And one of the things that I love about Amy's spread here is the way that she printed out and cut the digital embellishments. So pieces from the digital chipboard, you can see that those are really taking kind of center stage around her spread. Pieces that are from the digital chipboard, I think some of the stamps as well. But she's literally just printing those out, hand cutting them with her scissors. You could do that on a silhouette as well. But just cutting them out and either punching or hand cutting them to add them directly onto her photos here. And one of the things that's cool about that is, especially if you're somebody that likes really flat, you like to have flat projects, but you want to have some embellishments on them, printing out digital products onto paper is a great way to do that. So that was one of the things that I loved about this spread. Next up, let's look at the layout from Brandy here. One of the things that I love seeing is how people use the same product different ways. So a bunch of people this time used the Love Life, which is on the stamp section of the digital kit there. And what Brandy did here is she actually pasted an image inside of the text. There's actually a how-to for doing that kind of thing in my hybrid workshop. If you haven't taken that yet, that is a great starting place for learning how to do a lot of the things that the creative team does using these digital products. So a couple other things that I loved here about Brandis Spread. Number one, I love this idea of just going around the house and taking pictures of little things, right? What are some detail shots of things that you love around your house? I also love how she repeated the XOXOXO design and used that to create this repeated pattern where she has a circle, a star embellishment, the line, and then the little bit more information below that. Just always, one of my favorite things is this idea of coming up with something that you repeat. It's picking one individual product and then repeating it multiple times. It may be going really big with it. Like you can see here that she's played with scale. So she has it really big over on the first page, and then she has the XOXO really small on the other side. Another thing that a lot of the creative team does with the digital products is that they take the 3x4 card designs and they turn those into large page layouts. So they'll take the 3x4 card design and then they'll use it on a 6x8 page, just like here how Brandy used the February details, that part of the card, and enlarged that to go along with her really bold and bright title as well. So you'll probably see more examples of that as we go along here. Here is one from Ingen telling the story about running. What I loved here is number one, pairing a longer story with real life ephemera. So something that adds to the story that you're telling. In this case, she added a map from this really crazy long run that she did. So it's a great way to save the things that are real, right, from our life, where then we can add in, she's got the photo of herself, she's got a longer story where she's explaining and talking about the facts and the feelings related to this event, and then she has the map that's showing adds this whole other dimension to this story overall. I also like here that she's mixing physical products, so like the large chipboard letters that were an add-on for one of the story kits, I think, or Stories by the Month, I can't remember. And then she's mixing that physical product with printed digital product. So the Currently Making Life Worth Loving is a piece that's on the digital chipboard set, and she simply printed that out and added it on the bottom, and pairing that then with other chipboard pieces from past physical kits. So here's another layout from Ingen this month, and there's a couple of specific things that I loved about this one as well. Number one is just a reminder of list journaling. List journaling is such an awesome way to get a longer story told where you're pulling out different bits and pieces. And in this one, she used the time stamp set that has these large number stamps on them to go along with the text and with the story that she's telling there, a variety of different things about what's going on with her kids right there. I also love how she looked for a story that connected people over time. So she's got both her daughters here. They're wearing the same dress. So just talking about those kinds of stories. You're looking for little details in your life. You're looking for patterns. You're looking for the things that you can capture that you're noticing about your life right now that are probably going to be different within the next few years. I also love here how she has 3 red accents. She's got the number 3, which is, I believe, the age of one of the kids. And then she's got the red heart with the January, and then she has the little heart over within the title. So she took a digital title over there, There's So Many Things to Love About You, and she made that heart in there red, which makes a nice visual triangle around her spread here, around this 2-page spread. I also love the hand-drawn border. That's just something that I've always enjoyed as well. But I think this is a great example of a good use of a variety of different products, both digital and physical as well. All right, and then here is a look at Jen, what Jen did. And one of the things that I love about this this is a great example and a great reminder that when you see digital products, you can change the color of those digital products. So if you see this February digital kit and all you see is pink and red, the reminder that you can adjust those colors, I think, is a huge reminder. You got to be able to see beyond maybe the colors that are being showcased originally. So that's what Jen did in this spread. She took those cards and she just adjusted the colors. So she knows how to do that. That's something that we talk about also in the hybrid workshop if you want to check out more about that, or you can look online for tutorials. But she simply just made the colors of the cards work for the photos that she was taking, which were definitely, darker. They're more kind of natural woodsy colors. So she's got the gray and the green mixed together. So I think that was a super effective way to use the products to help tell the story that she wanted to tell. Here's one from Jenny. Again, like I said, lots of people using that really big, the Love Life to go really big. She took the Love Life digital piece there and she put it on top of a photo of a palm tree, and she adjusted the opacity. So the opacity makes it see-through, essentially. In Photoshop, you can adjust that. So by scaling the opacity back, you're able to see through the F and the E there, which is another fun way to play around with large digital type as well. And again, she's got a regular chipboard piece on there paired with a cut out this story. So that one's from the digital set using paper. And she's also using part of a photo template here as well to organize her photos. And I've got some of those in the shop as well if you're looking for some easy ways to mask photos into shapes. And then she's got her big story down on the bottom as well. Here's one from Jen. A couple things that I loved about this one. One, here's another example where she took the digital chipboard piece, Currently Making Life Worth Loving, and she made that stretch all the way across the page. So the reminder that you can adjust the sizes of these things. This is part of the thing that makes digital so fun, is that you have so much more flexibility in terms of how you use the products to help get your story told. You're not limited to one size. You can make make adjustments to those. So she's got a cute little cluster of some of the digital embellishments happening there. And again, the reminder that you can change the colors on those to make the colors work for the story that you're telling. I love the big photo here as well, too. Next up, we've got a project from Jess. One of the things that I liked about this one is talking a little bit, again, about size variety. So she has on the one side there, she has a 6x12 divided page protector. I believe, my guess is that she trimmed that down with her on a trimmer. And then her other one is a custom size to fit the photo that she printed out. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's 8x12, could be. Looks like it's using a 12x12 page protector that then she looks like she used a fuse tool along the edge there and then trimmed it off. So she didn't want to make a 12x12 photo. She wanted to make an 8x12 photo or whatever it is exactly, and paired that then with the 6x12 over on the side. So a big photo enlargement paired with titles and stories over on the other side. I also like, this is a good example, of using the February details card where she's removed the part below where it had the ing words. She's taken that part off and then she just used that space to add in the story that she wanted to tell. I also loved on this one how she didn't go with, the reminder that we don't have to it's not, February doesn't only mean stories of romantic love, right? And even when you're seeing products that are love related, they can be used for so many other kinds of stories. Like this one, she's telling the story about Canada and the Canadian Olympic team and being excited about that and how, they're red and black and white and being able to utilize some of those products in that way to tell this kind of story that isn't necessarily a romantic love kind of thing. Next up is a spread from Kelly here, 6x8 size. Again, I love that she's so great at looking at the cards that are included in the kit and using those as a jumping off point for telling the story. So in this case, using that card that says, find something you are passionate about and keep tremendously interested in it. And then she wrote a little bit about that and what that means for her in her life. So I think that was a great use of that paired with a full page 6x8 photo on the side there. Next up is a page from Laura. I love how she printed and then hand cut, that says hand cuffing, hand cut that floral design up there. So that's definitely a fussy cutting adventure, but it's something that looks really great on this spread here. A couple other things to notice, letter writing, journaling. I just think it's such a nice reminder, and it's such an easy way to well, I don't want to say easy. I think for a lot of us, writing letters is a really lovely opportunity to say things that might be really hard to say out loud. And I think that Laura's really used that to her advantage here. And she's saying some things that are very, very kind and very loving and very much should be said, in a relationship situation. And I think for me, what I've learned in my life is that sometimes writing the letters first gives me more confidence in terms of saying those things out loud than in real life. Like it makes it become easier to say or that much more real. Or I also, on this page, I also like how she included basically a portrait of him. A lot of times I think, especially for me, like I use pictures that show somebody doing something or they're not necessarily looking at the camera. And it definitely struck me when I saw this page of how, he's looking directly at the camera. Essentially, he's looking directly at her. And I really liked that part about this page. I felt like it was a good reminder to take some portraits of people that I care about too. All right, next up is a page from Lorene, and she's got this great cluster of embellishments happening here, 3 different clusters, lots of cutting here with the repeating that watercolor flower design there. She also has a large heart cutout there where she's created a frame, essentially, probably on her silhouette, I'm guessing, and then stitched around that frame before adding the embellishments around the outside edges. Here's a spread from Mel, and a couple things that I loved about this one. I love the simple layers that she's got underneath that love, the plastic or the rubber love word there. Just, super simple. It's a great reminder that you can just grab some of the things that are on your desk and create some layers using some of those pieces. I know we all have extra pieces laying around. I also love in this spread, like when you look at it, most of the pictures that she has in this one, they're dominated by white, right? The white from the snow, they're very light. So the contrast between the very light photos with these really bright pieces of red or something that really stuck out to me that I liked. So she's got one of the large chipboard letters there, the Love Life card, and then the bright red love rubber piece that was from another kit option as well. Just I feel like a really effective spread too. I also like the black type or the black stamping on there as well. And she's doing that digitally, I believe, as well. So I feel like that looked really good on the photos before she printed them out. Lisa's got a few different things going on here that I loved in this Project Life spread. One of them is that she's printing the digital embellishments on vellum, and I thought that looked really cool. She's got those two on the bottom there. There's another one up on the top with the feet. I just thought that was a fun way to add a different texture onto the page, and it's just a reminder that that's something that we can do. Sometimes I forget some stuff like that. I really liked that. I also really liked here how she used black to unify the whole spread. So she's got the big black Grateful heart is a magnet for miracles up on the top. She's got another quote there that always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. So another black and white quote. Her journaling there is black and white, where she's taken some of the digital embellishments and made them gray, a really light gray, and pushed them back in the design so that the type is coming through there. And she's got spread across a couple pockets there. I think that looks really good. That looks really good too. So just I felt like overall effective, really nicely balanced look at using the product, and then compared with all of her really great photos too. All right, and then here's one from Laurie. A couple things that I wanted to point out about what Laurie's doing here. One of the things that I loved when I just looked at this is just that reminder to just get the words on the cards, right? This isn't all digital, so she's got a bunch of just digital pieces layered together here, but she's taking the simple journaling cards and she's just adding her text right below them. And that's one of the things when I'm creating the journal cards, that I'm looking for opportunities to just give you space to write, right? Whether you're doing it with typed journaling or whether you're doing handwriting, the cards are the invitation to add the story. She went ahead and used the February details with the loving, watching, listening, eating, drinking, going. And that is something that's popping up in each one of these digital Stories by the Month kits this year. So each month has included that same card with the different month on top, and then the same things below for those of you guys that want to have that kind of repetition throughout your projects there as well. And then Theresa here, I love when Theresa does the Traveler's Notebook pages, and this is such a great example of a beautiful way to use Traveler's Notebooks, where she has a full page photo here of, I believe, her grandma. And then on the second page, she's taken that journal card, or the top of the journal card, and she's extended it to the size of the Traveler's Notebook. So again, taking those journal cards and making them work for the size that you want them to be. If you're looking at them and every time you only see a 3x4 card, you're limiting yourself in the way that those products that can be used. There's so many opportunities for going bigger or making them a different size or using them in a different way to be able to work for the stories that you want to tell. All right, that's a look at the February digital Stories by the Month for 2018. Let me know if you have any questions.